It's Rene here once again for Revv Motoring. In a country where we see a number of people driving SUVs and MPVs, we're going to explore one option which is definitely going to be of interest to you. In today's urban jungle, especially in Singapore, the market has been filled with brands offering SUVs with a whole host of features. Some you might need and some maybe you won't. Well, one brand has come up with a sports activity coupe that has it all, aiming for a younger crowd of professionals and individuals who want to tough it out in the urban jungle called Singapore. BMW has introduced the X series of sports activity vehicles. We thought it would be a good idea to review the X4 for you today, which seems to have a good number of followers here in Singapore. The X4 is based on the technical blueprint of the BMW X3, but displays a sporting character very much of its own and takes dynamics to another new level. The X4 is BMW's first compact sports activity coupe, or SAC for short, which gives you the best of both worlds of an SUV and a coupe. The X4 is available in two variants. There's an X4 Xdrive35i, which is a 2-liter twin-turbo model, and the one that we have for you today, which is the Xdrive35i, which is a 3-liter twin-turbo bigger brother. So let's find out more about the X4, its features both inside and out, and of course, its performance. The X4 comes with full electric seating for both front driver and front passenger, which allows you to actually control the seat movements in terms of moving forward and backward, including the backrest. And we have 3 different memory settings, which allows you to, if you happen to have 3 different drivers at home, well, 3 individual settings for each driver. Okay, we're inside the BMW X4, and as always, BMW gives you a really excellent finish in terms of quality and materials wise. As you look throughout the whole car, basically lots of soft touch materials on the dashboard, on the armrest as well. Full leather seatings and lots of aluminium trim in the center console as well. So really BMW always does its best in any of the cars that we've seen so far. They've really done a great job on the interior. Getting into the X4 is via keyless entry, which is by this key, which you can keep in your pocket to open the doors or even open the boot as well. And how you bring the X4 to life is via this start-stop button. So all you need to do is keep your foot on the brake, depress the start-stop button, and it brings the car to life. And if you notice at the start-stop button as well, we have this little function here which allows you to actually kill the auto start-stop function, which means when you're at a traffic light and you don't want the engine to die or stop, well, basically by depressing this, it will kill the auto start-stop function. And over at the steering wheel, it is of course wrapped in leather, and it has a really good feel. And you get the usual controls on your left. You have the cruise control functions, which you can actually set depending on your speed that you want to have as well. And on the right hand side, you have your modes function, which allows you to scroll through the different menu settings via this little scrolling wheel. And we also have the audio buttons to increase or decrease the volumes of your music, and also we have the Bluetooth functionality, which allows you to hook up your handphone to pair it, and we have those microphones built into the top part of the car. To control the different functionalities of the car, from the radio, the navigation, and even your vehicle settings, we have the iDrive touch controller, which is actually a touchpad, which allows you to scroll through the different functionalities of the car and change the different settings in terms of things like connected drive. Or also we have the navigation, which works via touch, which means you can actually input settings via writing things on the touchpad controller. You also have the option of turning traction control on or off, depending on how you want to drive, basically. You can also choose various driving modes via the driving experience control switch, which allows you to scroll through the different modes. Once again, we have the Eco Pro, the Comfort mode, and also the Sport and Sports Plus driving settings, which controls and actually changes the different driving settings of the car depending on which mode you are in. The X4 also comes with a rear view camera, and the good thing about it, if you happen to be in a tight space area, you can actually change the view to a surround view camera, which gives you a 360 view of the surrounding area. So if you're parked in a really tight car park for example, it actually shows you the space around you, which I think is really a really great option on this car. The X4 also comes with a sunroof, which you can manipulate via this switch on the roof. And if you want less sun coming in, well, it has a manual shade as well, which you can slide forward. The X4 is 14 mm longer than the X3 and sits 36 mm lower, which gives it a really good aerodynamic look. Large air intakes positioned on the outer edges of the front gives the X4 a more muscular and agile appearance, and LED fog lamps. Signature full LED headlights. The X4 also has a coupe-like roofline before dropping gently towards the edge of the tailgate. The X4 also comes with 19-inch alloy rims as standard. And you can see on the side profile of the car, this is actually a first from BMW for the X4. They've actually split the two lines of the car. As you can see, there's two lines. And what they've done is to emphasize the more muscular stance of the X4, they've created a second line to kind of bring out the rear section of the car to give it that more low muscular stance. And over at the rear of the X4, it has a really cool feature called the Smart Opener. And how it works, basically, if you happen to be coming home from the grocery store or even maybe from the office, you're carrying a whole bunch of stuff in your hands and you just can't open the boot. This is how it actually works. There you go. All you need to do is basically kind of kick your foot under the car and the boot automatically opens. And in terms of space, it has 500 liters, and if you bring the seats down, giving you a total of 1,400 liters of space itself. So BMW has come out with the X4 series, okay, where you have the X28i and of course the X35i, which is the one we're driving. A little more info about how this car handles, and basically we've covered all the exterior of the car, how well it looks, and the comfort of the car itself, able to seat 5 people. So let's talk more about the technology that BMW has actually built into the X4. Okay, first of all, of course, it's a 3-liter twin turbo car, which gives you tons of torque and power at your control. But that being said, this is a SAC, or Sports Activity Coupe. So you're thinking, so what's with this SAC thing? BMW has given the best of both worlds. Basically, you have an SUV, and also the look of a coupe, which I think in this day and age, targeting the younger crowd, professionals, they want to have something which really looks cool and sleek. Well, the X4 really has the look and power for it. And the technology that's built into this car, I mean, we got the whole onboard computer management systems giving you control of practically every aspect of the car, from the lightings to how you want to adjust the brakes, to whatever, it's all at your fingertips, basically through the car management system. And also there's this thing called the Xdrive and dynamic stability control. So how does that kind of work for you as a driver? With the Xdrive, I mean, the X4 being an all-wheel drive car. So Xdrive basically, you know, in most normal cars that you have, it's either, you know, rear-wheel drive or, you know, front-wheel drive. So, you know, you either have the control in the front or the back. But with Xdrive, BMW has actually had this really smart computer management system which controls the power, the flexibility, and the traction in both the front and rear wheel. So, you know, in different driving conditions that you may face sometimes, you might be taking corners fast, or, you know, taking the straights, or it might be a wet road, whatever it is. So power is being controlled in the front and the rear axles via the Xdrive and dynamic stability control, giving you great traction, great power, and of course lots and lots of safety as well. So, you know, it gives you that kind of a confidence factor that you're driving a car that is taking care of you, rather than you having to do all the thinking by yourself. So, you know, that's something really fantastic. Also, we have the performance control. The performance control basically, you know, it kind of gives the braking and power and individual wheels. Like, give you an example, you're taking a corner, all right, and sometimes you don't, you know, the power sometimes being powered in the rear or the front wheel tires. So as you take corners, the smart system on board the car with the power performance control actually controls the different power or kind of energy that you get in different tires. So what that means is you get really fantastic control around corners. Okay, in fact, you know, I took this car around a corner. I was going like maybe 80, 90, even 100 sometimes, and you know, no signs of understeer or oversteer at all. So there you go. You know, you got power, you got safety, you got great comfort, you know, and it's a really smart looking, intelligent car in this day and age. You know, and with the money they're spending, you know, you really want something that's gonna, you know, be drivable for at least the next 5-6 years. And I can tell you this much, the X4 is definitely that kind of a car. And also, that being said, sports utility vehicle, okay? We're gonna show you some off-road action in just a bit, just to show you how versatile the X4 really is. And of course, you have the different driving modes. You got the Comfort, the Eco Pro mode, you got the Sport and Sports Plus. So, you know, and with different modes comes different suspension controls, steering controls, and throttle response as well. So, you know, and as you know, and it's in all BMWs, you know, it's all about, even in Eco Pro mode, the power is still there, no laggy feeling, nothing at all. So, you know, like, give you an example right now, I'm in Eco Pro mode. Let me just show you the pull of this car. And that, my friends, is in Eco Pro mode. I haven't even put it in Sports or Sports Plus. Okay, so let me just give you a quick rundown of how this guy actually reacts in Sports mode. Here we go. Check out the throttle response. Amazing, isn't it? You have to be in this car to find out. And with all BMWs, you have the choice of course, going for the M Sport package, which gives you a whole world of options. You know, from bigger rims to different kinds of suspension that you need, trimmings in the car, you name it, they have it. So, you know, if you want to find out more about how you can so-called pimp up your ride, well, head on down to BMW, have a look at the whole X series, and find out, you know, more about the X4.
The price of the BMW X4 Xdrive35i is $335,800 inclusive of COE, and its road tax is $2,362 annually. Also available is the M Sports package with things like high gloss shadow line trim and a more sporty suspension setup, and even 20-inch light alloy rims. Our thanks to Performance Motors for letting us have the X4 Xdrive35i for our review. To have a go at the X4 and maybe even test out the range of BMW's automobiles, head on down to their showroom at Alexandra Road. This ends another episode of Revv. Do join us next week as we get into the driver's seat of yet another car here on Revv. Till then, drive safe. Do remember to like us on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagrams at the links below.